I want to talk to you guys about skate maintenance before we even begin to start rolling on our skates. What I want you to do is always check your stopper to make sure it is tight. And you see here, I'm putting at the stopper and I'm twisting it to make sure it's on nice and securely. You need to check all your wheels, make sure that you can actually roll them. Because if you can't do what I'm doing here in the video, it's just going to make learning how to skate harder, or the tricks you're trying to accomplish more difficult when it doesn't really need to be. If your wheels are not rolling freely, you're going to need to change your bearings. So this is pretty much what you should do every single time you are about to skate, whether it's inside or out. Just checking your bushings, making sure everything is perfect. Now, let's get to it. So we're going to start off this tutorial. It's going to be a bit different. We're going to start with our skates on, but then we're going to take them off and put them on again. And I'll tell you why in a moment. Since we're already sitting on the ground, we're going to learn how to stand up on our skates. So you want to put your hands by your bottom, and I'm showing you how I'm crossing my legs to the side, bringing my right leg, which is the lead leg, up towards me, putting the stopper down, and I'm coming to the side and using the stopper and coming up using my fingers, pressing up, pressing into the stoppers with the ground, pressing up. Bam. All right, let's try that again. So we're going to bring our skates forward, here bending our legs, tucking your less dominant leg in, bringing your dominant leg up. You're going to twist to one side, pressing into the ground with the stopper there, using the other leg and knee to bring yourself onto the other stopper, pressing up, up, and bam. Okay, so we're going to sit down again, and we're going to try this another way. Putting our hands behind us here. We're going to step, coming over to the other side, using the opposite foot, and leaning over to the side, using the stoppers, up on the toes, coming up, leaning forward. Make sure you're leaning forward on this. And then you can either stay on your stoppers or you can roll out to get up. Now we're going to learn how to get up from a chair or a stool. So I'm going to bring a stool out and sit down, and from here we're going to get up from it. Before we do anything, let's check to see where our wheels are. So we want our wheels to be back, kind of like underneath us, and we're going to use our hands to pick ourselves up and move forward. So I'm going to try that again. You want to make sure that you're using your stoppers. If you feel uncomfortable, you're going to press against your seat and on your knee. So I use the left part, or the left leg, to push myself up. Here we go. This time I'm just going to use both of my hands. I'm on my stoppers here, and then I'm going to put one foot out to roll away. Let's try it again. Stoppers down, leaning forward. I'm going to lean on the left leg, pressing here. And that is it. Da, da, da. All right, so with that said, we're actually going to take our skates off so we can get a better understanding of what's going on with your feet and toes inside the skate boot. Learning how to find our balance, pressing our toes spread wide on the floor, pressing through the heel and big toe, really trying to find balance here. We're going to do it again here. You want to really feel the movement of your balance while you're doing this exercise. And really use your whole foot to keep your balance and to control the movement of your actual leg. Here's another angle. You want to also be using your core, engaging your core. This is very important to understand what's going on inside the skate before we actually put it on. So we're going to do this a few times. So now we're going to go ahead and get our skates here. There you go. And we're going to do the same exercise, but with just one skate. And I'm using my right foot because this is my main foot. So here, make sure you're spreading your toes, really pushing your toes into the skate. And here you can see my skate kind of rocking back and forth. And that is because I am using the balance in my toes to stay balanced, pretty much. And this is done all on one foot. And we're just going to keep going here a few more times until we move on to the next exercise. So for our next exercise, we're going to need both skates. So let's go ahead and pause this video, put your other skate on, and let's get cracking. We are going to learn how to balance while we're moving. So pretty much it's the same exercise that we did before, but obviously we are moving. You want to really try and press your feet into the boot of the skate. And what I mean by feet, like your big toe, your small toes, really gripping the ground. And if for whatever reason you're not understanding this concept by this point in the video, that's totally fine. I would recommend that you go ahead and take your skates off and go back to the first step with pressing your toes into the ground and really feeling how the ground feels in your toes and seeing how you're able to distribute your weight. We're just going to play around with this a few times. So just practice really pressing on the toes and leaning your weight into one side and the other side and kind of see where you're going to roll at. That's the whole purpose of figuring out how to control yourself on your skates by using your toes. Moving on, we're going to learn how to stop while we're skating forward. So here I slowed down the video just a little bit. We're going to use the stopper and you're going to really press the stopper into the ground, sliding it forward, kind of like you're kicking a ball. And I'm doing it a few times here. So you're going to slide through and kick. While doing this, you really want to make sure that the stopper is going all the way deep into the ground. And what I mean by that, your skate isn't bouncing up, it's really firm and really scraping the ground, kind of like an eraser on a pencil. So you're going to try and erase a spot on the ground with your stopper, trying to stop, like really digging into the ground. So next we're going to move on to transitions. And we're going to be transitioning from front to back. So one of the important things of transitions is trying to keep your knees bent in the beginning. This is so that you have more hip flexibility and that you are actually able to move the skates out towards the side, which is what you are trying to do during a transition. And so we're going to try this a few times. We're trying to just keep bending our knees, feeling how it's supposed to feel, and bringing our skates out and then bringing them back in and out. Again, bending down low, 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 low. Feel the knees and bring the skates back. All right, so we're gonna move on here and get rolling. Of course, you can always rewind this video if you need more time. So moving on, we're going to try and pick up our skate, lifting it up, turning it to the side, and picking up the opposite leg and bringing it forward. I want you to try this over and over again as many times as you need so that you have muscle memory inside your hip flexors and inner thighs. So you know what you're supposed to feel when you are transitioning. While we're doing this exercise, make sure to try and keep your knees bent. That is really the key in learning transitions. Of course, once you get better and more comfortable, then you can straighten your legs. And when you learn to straighten your legs, your transitions will look smoother naturally. So here I'm speeding up my process where I'm actually using my back wheel to pivot instead of picking up my foot. And here we go again, pivot, pivot. So I'm kind of rolling on my front wheel and my back wheel. I'll slow it down for you. I'm spinning to the right, so left heel in the ground, right foot toes down. That rhymes. So think about it. If you're transitioning to the right, it's going to be right heel down, left foot in the ground. And here is the finished look. I still try to slow it down, but it's just a cleaner version of exactly what we went over. This is pretty much how I get my transitions to be so smooth, so consistent, and yeah, you can pretty much put a transition wherever you want one, to be honest. And I love transitions, so I could talk about these all day. However, we ain't got all day, people. So let's move on. Now that we've learned transitions, we're going to learn how to stop backwards. So, pretty much, this is going to pull everything that we've learned together. And we're going to do our little transition. And then we are going to stop with our stoppers. So, you can see me here. I'm just literally bending my knees, leaning forward. Bending my knees, leaning forward. Transition, leaning forward. That's all it is. It's actually quite simple. I think it's easier stopping backwards than forward. If I'm honest, that's just my personal opinion. You can do 1 foot or two, but this is one of my favorite ways to stop. And it's just easy to transition into and out. Here I'm playing around a little bit. Yeah. Next stop, we're going to learn how to stop without using our stoppers. That's right, folks. You can stop without using your stoppers, and I'm going to show you how. So, pretty much, we're going to stop, and then we're going to push our legs out and in, out and then in, out, out. And pretty much, we're using the technique that we began with in the beginning of this tutorial with pressing our toes into the actual boot of the skate, pressing on the edges of the skate to get that curvature that we want to press ourselves out, and then bringing them back in together. And we're going to clench the insides of our legs, so the inner part of our thighs, bringing them closer together. And that's how you're going to control this movement. All right, guys. I don't know if you're tired, but I definitely am. But we have a couple things left to do. And we're going to do some skate exercises that's going to help you strengthen your core and your legs to become a better skater and help with your balance. So here you can see I'm already exercising and I'm doing these squats. Here, they're pretty self-explanatory. I don't want to talk too much. I'm already tired here. I'm like seriously dying. But you're going to bend your knees. Maybe you can even use your hands for more intensity. And I'm showing you again to the side. I'm using my hands because you want to have strong arms too. And a nice butt to look cute in your shorts or your skirt, whatever you like to skate in. And then here I get on my toe stoppers and I really get down. Oh yeah, feel that burn. Feel the burn. Make sure you're exhaling when you're coming down, inhaling when you're coming up. So this is an option because it is very intense on your stoppers. However, if you're doing these like before and after you skate, man, your balance is going to improve tremendously. Here we're changing. We're going to bring our knees in. Exhale up. Actually, sorry. Inhale up. So look at my knees and my skates are going to the side. So I'm actually pushing my knees together. It's a very slightly noticeable, but it's a major difference. Here, I'm going to turn around. On my toe stops, bending, knees, wheels are out, up, inhale, exhale down, inhale. Again, this is more of an advanced exercise, but you can work up to it. And that's it. Bye, guys. Thanks so much for the support. I love you. I love you. Ooh, yeah. Ah, ooh, ooh. Bye. See you later in my next video. Da, 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 da. Ooh, yeah. I look like death. That's why I cut my head off in this video. Bye. Ciao.